Right, in this video we're going to do a walk-round stroke handover tour of an Elldis all-compass CV20, but it also applies to a CV40, CV60 or CV80. They're very similar other than the layouts are slightly different, but we'll stick some stock photographs in so that you can see the difference. But on the whole, the items in the van as supplied by Elldis or Compass are fairly similar. So it'll give you an idea of what you want from this type of van. So we'll go with that. I'll do an outside tour as good as I can. We're parked on the drive. I'd have liked to have done this, you know, in a nice field and stuff, but it'll give you a rough idea, and then in a few months' time we'll do an updated video.
When we can get out.
Yeah, when we can get out of living with it, and you know, a few little tips like that. We've done a few improvements, well, we call them improvements, from standard, which you can see in our playlists of modifications and stuff. So there'll be a slight difference. There'll still be things as supplied with the van, but we might have changed them slightly. But this will give you a rough idea. This is an Elldis CV20. It's a 2020 model, but it's a December 2020. You'll see a yeah, it's an Evolution. It's a Brownhill Special. You'll see slightly different things depending on what dealer you go to. Different fabrics, different types of hob cooker, etc. But on the whole, yeah, there's little bits, but on the whole, this is a dealer special which is fitted with pretty much everything, which we found the best way to go. If you buy a standard Elldis from Elldis, a lot of the options add up more to a dealer special from Brownhills or Kensington or whoever would supply your van. Okay? Right, so we're going to do an exterior walk around as good as we can. The van is on the drive, so I'd like to have done this out in the open for you, but unfortunately we're still in a lockdown at this point in time. So this is an Elldis CV20. This is a Brownhills dealer special. They call it the Evolution, and it's in black. It's based on a Fiat Ducato 2.3 turbo diesel. This is the 140 brake version, the AdBlue Euro 6, Euro 7, I forget which one it is. So it's got quite low emissions and stuff. There are obviously standard Elldis versions and other dealer versions that are different colours and different specifications, but on the whole, if you go for a dealer special, you get a few little toys thrown in, and I'm going to show you that as good as I can, and then we'll do an interior walk round as well. So as you can see, 2.3 140 brake. It's the same engine in any of the variants, starting from 120. I think they even map them up to a 180, but it is basically just a different engine remap. It's the same engine. So even if you're not happy with the power of the 120 or the 140, you could have it remapped should you wish, but 140 is going to be plenty in this vehicle. With the dealer special, you obviously got alloy wheels, 16-inch. There is a full-size spare on this, although it is a steel wheel. That's not a problem to us. This just shows you at the rear of the vehicle, there's this full-size spare, and yeah, it's a steel wheel. So the dealer special from Brownhills comes with a bike rack as one of the accessories. If you look, you'll see that I've removed the wheel legs, if you like, off the bike rack, purely because we don't carry bikes, but we still hang towels and stuff to dry on the bike rack, so it's quite handy for that. At the rear, on the high level brake light, there's a reversing camera fitted to this vehicle as an aid for backing it up. Hopefully you can just about see there. There's a wind out awning, a Dometic wind out awning. If you look at the end there, the round circle to the left, you put a handle in that and wind it in and out. Unfortunately I can't show you that at the minute, but it will be on a future video. It really is as simple as winding it out, and then when you get so far that you can reach, you just pop the legs out and support it, and it comes out the rest of the way, and you just peg it down. It's very simple, but I will show that in a future video. The one downside, I would say, to a van conversion over a motorhome is a lot of the water tanks are stored under the vehicle, obviously to save space.
you've got your fresh water and your wastewater and your boiler under the van, along with the black round thing there. You can see that's your gas tank for your LPG that powers the cooker and your heating. So the Elldis version, and I'm sure other dealer versions, have the winter pack where they're all insulated, and there's even a heater built into the tank to stop them freezing. But you've still got to be very wary and drain it down. So at the minute there is no water in this van because I'm filming this in winter. So when we do the walk round, although we can show you the taps and stuff, we're not going to run water because there isn't any in it. Again, apologies for the lack of space, but this is the driver's side of the vehicle where all your service points are, if you like. You've got your LPG fill up here. You literally just pop that out and your bayonet goes in there and you fill from that point. I believe it's a 25 litre can, but the usable, I think they only store about 80% of their usable gas, so you get about 20 litres in, I believe. I'll obviously do a video when we eventually fill up on how to do that, but at the minute the van is full from the dealer and we've not used it. And again, just to show you, there is the gas tank from this side. The grey tap is your wastewater outlet. That's from your shower, your sink, etc. It's just a quick turn of this. That's locked now shut, and that's left open because obviously it's winter and there's none in it, but I don't want any build up. And then next to it is your freshwater drain, again locked shut, and that's open. As I say, depending on your dealer, some of these may not be fitted. This is an external 240 supply, so you slide that up, you'll see in there under that flap is a normal UK socket should you want to run something outside like a radio or anything really when you're sitting outside. So unlock the water and you fill that up with a food grade hose until it overflows if you want a full tank. Can't remember off the top of my head how many litres it holds. I think it's 90 litres. I will put the graphic up on the screen confirming that. The same with the waste water. Yeah? Right, so to empty your toilet cassette, get your key, unlock it, press the buttons. This is magnetic, so it'll stick to the top of your van. Don't forget the trapdoor in the toilet has to be closed. You grab the handle like that, it releases, and then obviously this cap undoes and you press that to stop it glugging when you're tipping it in your Elson point. Once it's empty, rinse it out. Your cap itself has a marker on it for adding your toilet chemicals. A little bit of water in with your chemicals, back in and lock it down. Shut the door and lock her up. There we go. Right, this is your electric hookup. Obviously I'm plugged into the garage at the moment because the van's on the drive. It's pretty simple, it literally is just pull the flap up, you can see where it's sitting on the top there, and push it in and then turn it on after you've connected it to the van. You don't want to be walking around with the live end, even though they're all shrouded terminals. AWN, by the way, that was just it used to be for my awning years ago, and I've made this lead myself a bit longer. I will show you now an adapter that you can buy so that you can use your normal lead in the garage, but I've basically made a long version of this adapter lead. So yeah, it literally does just slide in there. You lift the lid up, and then to pull it out, obviously disconnect the other end first and pull it out. I'm not going to do that. It is pretty simple, but there you go. This is your standard hookup lead. I was just showing you it plugged into the van. It is literally on a spring like that. You just flip the lid up, push it in, and then it shuts like that when you're not using it. The other end goes into sight. Always remember to unwind this fully, because the heat generated from the resistance of electricity could cause a fire. I'll show you the other end that goes into sight on another lead, because this one's wound inside. Just hang on. This is the sight end, as you can see. Difference being that the terminals are showing. That just literally plugs into the post on the sight, and then the other end, as we've just shown you, is the opposite. This hasn't got a flip lid on it. This is one that I adapted for something years ago. As you can see, the other end of the orange lead that I showed you, I've put a plug on that goes out to the van, but you can buy the converter. I'll just show you that. So there's your conversion lead that you can just use your sight lead on. It's just got a plug going to that. Saves you making up a long lead like I did, but I'd got spare stuff, so I did it. So if you look down the side of the CV20, the windows are in slightly different positions for the 40, the 60 and the 80. I'll show you some stock photos of that. It's all to do with the internal layout being slightly different depending on what vehicle you buy. Here is a view you won't see from a dealer. This is the roof of the van. You'll see that this model itself comes fitted with a 100-watt solar panel, and the white part there is your omnidirectional TV aerial, and then you'll see the roof vent skylight at the rear. The one by the TV aerial is your bathroom one, and then the one at the front is obviously your kitchen one. Bit of a close-up there of the rear brake light, and you'll see that that's your reversing camera should you have it fitted. If you look there on the end of the dashboard, that's your bonnet release. So here's the underbonnet of a typical Fiat Ducato. You'll see all your filler points here. This is your water washer there, see that? And then obviously there's an access panel which removes here to get to your stuff that you don't mess with a lot, like your header tank for your engine, water, and you know, your brake fluid and stuff like that. Engine fillers there, dipstick is there. The battery on the Fiat is actually in the cab under the floor, so if you ever want to jump start it, there's your earth point. Your live is under this flap here. You get your key and you put it in there and just flick that up like that with the key, and you'll see that metal. You see that there with the bolts on just under my finger. So your red crocodile clip would go on there, and your black one would go on there if you wanted to jump start the car. You've obviously got your standard VIN plate and your Hymer VIN plate there. Hymer obviously own Elldis. So yeah, just in case you needed to know information about your car, so ordering parts and stuff, that gives you the information you need. 2 points of entry to the habitation side of the vehicle. You've obviously got your main sliding door in, and your step switch there sends the step out. If you forget to wind the step in as soon as you start the vehicle, it automatically goes in anyway. So that's that 1 point of entry. You've also got entry by the rear barn doors. I can't open that fully as it'll hit the garage. But basically, you just do that, and then it does come supplied with an extra step for you to get in that way. The door there is just access from the rear to the under storage, which we'll show you more of from the inside. The little pouches and the USB socket, I've added them myself, they won't come in your van. It's just a few improvements that I've made. You can see on other videos, if you have a look, I've added a few bits.